Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Alfred from Practical Code Academy. We're going to continue in our course, and in today's video, we're going to cover meta tags and comments. I'm going to explain what is meta tags and how you can use them in your code. Also, I'm going to explain what is comments and what is the need of using comments in your code. I have the course folder over here. I'm going to open it, and the first folder here, that's what we went over in last video. I'm going to create a new folder here for today's video, which I'm going to call it HTML tags and comments. I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code. And in Visual Studio Code, you can create a file inside this folder using this icon here. If you want to ever create a folder, it's going to be the one next to it. And actually, the title is showing here new folder. Here it's showing new file. So inside this folder or our project folder, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it index.html. You can call it whatever you want. And as I show you in the last video, you can use Emmet to create a boilerplate for your HTML code by pressing the exclamation mark and press tab. And if you notice, it's going to give you like the basic HTML structure, the doc type, the HTML tag, and the body tag, and the head. If you look inside the head here, the head tags, you will have your title. In that case, I will change it to meta tags and comments. And also notice you have two meta tags here. Notice that the meta tag is inside the head of your document. And the reason for that, because the meta tag is not rendered to the user. It's just information that you send to the browser or information that you send it to the search engine to give them more information about your web page. So in that case, we'll take the first one here. Meta tag. Notice that any meta tag don't have any closing tag. So you might think we need a closing tag like this, but that's not correct. As we mentioned in the last video, there is some of the HTML tags that don't require any closing tags, and meta is one of them. So we don't need the closing tag. Next, inside the meta tag here, we have the character set attribute, short for CHAR, which is short for character set. And in that case, it's using the standard of UTF-8. And this is, by the way, is the default used in any browser. And to understand what is the character set, you can go for search for character set list. If we go for the W school, here you will notice that there is so many sets. You have the Windows-1252, you have the ISO 88591. However, the most common one and the most wide range one is the UTF-8 set. And it have all the characters you're gonna need in your page. And actually, if I go here and delete this meta tag, it's not gonna affect your web page performance because, as I said, the browser will by default use the UTF-8. The next meta tag I wanna introduce you to, so I'm gonna open a meta, is going to be related to search engines. And the format that you usually, or 90% of the meta tag use, it's two things, key and value. And the key, you put it with an attribute of name. So in that case, I want to target whatever inside the name attribute and give it a content. And it's going to be whatever content you put. And this is how you set any meta tag. For example, the one I'm going to be describing, as I said, it's going to be affecting the search engines, is going to be description. In that case, you can put any description about your web page. Free HTML and CSS tutorials. And now the search engine, when it go and look inside your page, it will understand what is your page about using this content value, whereas the key is the name in that case. So this is, it will understand that the description of your page, this description. Okay, what other meta tags that you can use for search engines? Another one that you can use, also you're going to use the name attribute, keywords, and the content in that case is going to be any keywords that related to your web page. For example, I can put here HTML, and to add more than one keyword, you separated them with a comma. So I can put CSS, front end, and keep going. So that's for the keywords that describing your web page. So you have the description, you have the keywords, and both for search engines to give more information about your page. Next will be the meta, also the same format, name equal author. That's what describe to the search engine who's the owner of this page or who made this page. In that case, you can put the content value as your name. In that case, I'm going to put John Doe. So as I said, this three are for search engines. They're not for the browser. The character set here for instruction given to the browser. And the one that I'm going to be describing, which is this one right now. As a matter of fact, let's start it from the beginning. We're going to create it from the beginning. This also for your browser, and it's going to be the most important meta tag if you want your web page to be responsive in different sizes of screens, like mobile devices or anything. You have to use this meta tag. So I'm going to use meta. As we know now, I take the following syntax, which is name and content. And the name here is going to be viewport. And in that case, the viewport is your computer screen or your mobile screen, any screen, that's the viewport. Okay, now you want to give some content, which is an instruction to your browser. You want to say that I want the width of my page to be equal the device width. Doesn't matter how big is the device width is, but I want all my content to fit inside the device width. Device width. Okay, this is very important instruction that you give into your browser to make your page responsive. There's another one, and to add more instructions, you separate them with a comma, similar as what we did in the keywords. So I'm going to separate it with a comma, and I'm going to put initial scale equal 1.0. And initial scale means that when the user open your page on a phone, usually a phone will zoom out to put all the content in a smaller screen. However, you're telling the browser that you don't want the scale to be zoomed out or to be small text. You don't want the user to keep zooming in to see your text. You want the scale to be initially 1:1, which is not zoomed out. And this is what is this instruction tell the browser. Let me put some header here, my header, and also paragraph. We're going to use it later. I'm just going to use lorem and then toggle word wrap. Okay, let me show you what I mean by the viewport here. If you go to your web page and search for non-responsive web page, website, my non-responsive website, somebody created a non-responsive website, and this is his non-responsive. And if you inspect the page and you go for the head here, as you can see, he don't put any, only use the meta tag for the character set, but he never used the meta tag for the viewport. So let's see how this website behave on a smaller screen. So I'm going to inspect it and make it, for example, for iPhone 6. And as you can see now, the page is zoomed out and the user required to zoom in to see what's going on or read this text. Let's see our meta tag for the viewport, how it's going to affect this page. So I'm going to copy it, and you can go here in the head and edit it as HTML, add the meta tag that will make this page a little bit responsive so the user or the content doesn't have to zoom out, and then put any here. As you can see what happened, now your page fit inside the mobile screen and the user don't have to zoom in no more. He can see your content, he can read your text. Now let's talk about comments. The syntax of comments in HTML, it is similar, like you're writing a tag like this. However, in this opening angle bracket, you put exclamation mark, then 2 dashes. And for the closing one, also you put 2 dashes. And between the opening angle bracket here and the closing angle bracket here, you insert your comment. So I'm going to put my comment. And if you try to render this page, let's open it with the live server. As you notice, my comment here is not rendered by the browser. The browser simply ignores it. This is simply just you can think about notes that you put it inside your code to remind you or to mark where is this code at, or send the messages to another developers if you're working in a big project. And it's pretty helpful, especially if your code getting like a lot of codes and you want to mark where it starts and where it's end. So I can, for example, say my page start here, and here I can create. And instead of writing the comment by yourself, you can do a nice trick that you can use it with Visual Studio Code. End of my page. And now I want to turn this to a comment. You can highlight it and press Control/, and that will turn it to comment. If you still press the Control/, it will toggle it back to not comment. So Control/, it will toggle the comment status. It's going to turn it to comment, and if it's already comment, it will make it not comment. So you can use, I find it very helpful. Okay, now sometimes you use the comment for debugging purposes. For example, you're having a piece of code that's not rendering correctly, and you want to know the cause is happening from this piece of code or from a different piece of code. So you try to break down your code a little bit pieces and comment one on each times. For example, I can comment this paragraph to see if this is causing any problem or it's gonna affect the performance of the web page. I can toggle it to a comment, and now it's become a comment. And if I render it, it's not gonna appear anyway. So it's used for debugging, and it's used for putting notes inside your code or mark where the beginning or end of a sections or pieces of your code. Well, that's it for today. I hope you like this video, and if you do like it, hit the like button. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about HTML formatting tags. We're going to cover multiple tags. I'll try to put all the tags, most of the tags that we're going to need in one video that will be involving in formatting text. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.